Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dallas, aka Infernus, and welcome back to Thetekkitrealm. Now, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a Trap Nation style After Effects thing, so you can like do music and stuff, and you can look like Trap Nation. Yeah, with the whole music beat circle going on there. And I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. So, After Effects, as you can see, if you're just looking at it and you're kind of like a newbie to it, it kind of looks complicated just straight off the bat, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Now, this will probably be a pretty long tutorial, so just stay tuned. Here we go. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is actually import your logo and your music that you want to use. And it's important to use a logo that's a circle. So if you need help making like a circle logo, I guess you can just look up online on Photoshop how to make a circle logo, because you're going to need to do that in order to put your little symbol in the center there. So yeah, going down to File, and you're going to go to Import, and then Multiple Files. Okay, so now what you're going to do is going to scroll up to Composition, and then you're going to press New Composition. And this thing's going to be right here. Now, this is going to be where the logo is going to come in, so this is where you're going to put your logo on the screen. So just name it Logo if you want. Preset, you're going to scroll down to where it says HD TV 1080 29.97, and that would be good. And leave all this stuff good, and make sure this is 10. It might not be 10 for some reason, but you know what? It probably would be 10 by default, but just in case, make sure it is that, and make sure it is drop frame, okay? And then just press OK. Just press that if you need it. It's not necessarily, you know, you don't need it for sure, but just might help you out. And then just go to your logo, and then just plop it right down in there, so you're gonna have it all set to go. So right click on the actual logo, and then you're gonna see this thing where it says transform. Hover over there, and then you're gonna have all these options right here. And now go down to where it says fit to comp, and then press there, and then you can angle it in any way you want. Just make sure it's even on all sides, so like make sure it's somewhat congruent. I mean, I know I'm pretty OCD myself, but you know, just try your best. It just cannot be off-center by even a tiny bit, because your beat circle is going to go around here, and that's the thing that you're going to want to worry about. And now you're going to make another composition, and this one's pretty simple. Just go up into composition again, and then press new composition. We're having the same page open up here, so yeah, over here name the composition whatever you want, but I'm just going to name it colors. You could also name this spectrum if you want, but I'm just going to put it as colors because that's what I'm used to. Yeah, so make sure it also is the same thing down here. HGTV 1080 by 2997. And then everything should be the same. Press OK. Alright, so now what you're going to want to do is go into this work area right here where my mouse is going all crazy right now. And go ahead and right click, and then go to New, and then Solid. And you can name this whatever you want. So yeah, there you go. Now go into the effects and presets, which is going to be on the right. And just go and type in the exact same thing. Just circle right here. And you're going to have this option right here, generate a circle. Just plop that thing right up in there, and then you're going to have the circle all ready for you. Now just do me a favor and go up into the radius. If you want your thing to look proportional to your logo, make it 275. That's the exact same width as what we made the logo as earlier. And here we go. So now we have the basic thing going for us, and this is going to be the basic design of your audio spectrum going on here. Now what you're going to want to do is go to the same place and then type in glow, and then press enter, and then we're going to have these things right here. If you have you know, extra things going on, like extra plugins, but just go to stylize, and then glow, place it right up in there, and let it load for a second. You can close out a circle if you want, and then make sure the glow on the option where it says composite original, make sure it's on top, and then for the glow operation, make sure it's none. Alright, there you go, and then you close out a glow. Okay, so now we're gonna do another solid color going on right here. So go and right click into the same place last time, and then press solid again, and then you can name this one white, but you can name it whatever you want. Really, you can name any of these things whatever you want. It honestly doesn't matter. I'm just gonna name it white. Press OK, and then drag this thing down below the circle so you still have the circle going on here. And now you're gonna go into the search bar once again, and then type in audio. And then you're going to have audio spectrum and audio waveform. Now you're going to want to do audio spectrum. That's the thing that's going to make the whole thing go all boomy and stuff in the end. So just drag that right onto white. Don't drag it below it. Don't drag it on top of circle. Just drag it on top of white. And then just let go of it. Now over here where it says 192 and 540, this is very important. What you're going to want to do is just turn this all the way down to where it says 0. Don't even make it like -1 or point something. Like honestly, it's gonna look a lot better if you just have it at 0. And then make sure this is at exactly 1920. And now we're gonna change up these settings right here. So basically what you want to do here is go to where it says end frequency, and you're gonna put that as 250. And then for frequency bands, you're gonna do 2000. And then maximum height, you're gonna name that 700. And then audio duration, you're gonna name that one 170. And then make sure when you go down here in these colors area right here, select the color and then make it go all the way up to white. And then select this one and make it go all the way up to white. Make sure they're both the exact same color. Alright, so now you can close out of the circle because you're not gonna need that for now. And what you're gonna do is go into the search bar like we did before, and then go into polar coordinates right up here, and then just drag this into the same place right on white. Let go of it right on there. So right here in this option bar, make sure you make it go to rect to polar. So and then the interpolarization is gonna be at 100%. And we can close out of all these now. And then we're gonna go back into the project option, and then this is where we're gonna have to have the music. So if you didn't import the music in the beginning, then make sure you go ahead and do it now by pressing the import button right here. But just drag the music, which is right here, right below white, and then just right click on that thing, and then go to all the way down here, pre-compose. And there you go. So here we have the actual music option right here. We're going to pre-compose it. Now you're going to go back into the white section here, and then you're going to go to effects control, and you're going to open up audio spectrum again, and then audio layer right here where it says that, and then you're going to have this option menu right here. Make sure it's on music, and there you go. So now the actual audio spectrum is going to react to the music going on in the background. So as you can see, we already have these sick bands going on here, and if you press play, you could actually see them moving up and down because that's actually reacting to the music. And as you can see right now, it's actually only going on one side, and I'm going to show you how to fix that so it's going to mirror itself. I'm also going to show you how to make the sick things go like super high up and like bassy and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get straight into that. The first thing you need to do to get that going is go to right back into audio spectrum, and then down here there's going to be this option called side option. Make sure that is set to side B, not side A but side B, so it's only going to be showing on the left side here. Okay, so now this is going to be kind of the complicated part. Lots of people get confused right about now, so just listen very closely to this. Make sure you go into circle. So you were in white before, now go into circle, and right where it says glow, click on it and then press Control plus C, or you could just right click and copy if you want, but Control C will work. Go back into white and then just paste it right in there. So you're gonna have all this stuff right here all the way down into white. So we're gonna have the same options going on for the audio spectrum. Now down here for white, we're gonna do the exact same thing. This is when we're gonna start actually doing the colors. So we're gonna make different layers of colors. So to start out with doing that, this is gonna be the repetitive part, and it might get kind of frustrating for some of you people, but just press Control D to make a separate copy of this right here. Alright, so the first thing you're gonna need to do is change the maximum height and the audio duration for every single layer you want to do. So for every single layer, you're going to want to add 50 to the maximum height, and you're going to want to take away 10 from the audio duration. So since I made one layer here, I'm gonna change it to 750 right here, and this is going to go down to 160. And here we go. Now we can actually go and change the color to something we want. So for example, if I want to make like a rainbow, so what are we going to start with here? What's at the bottom of a rainbow? Wouldn't it be like blue or something? Some like deep ultraviolet blue. Probably start with like somewhere around here if you want, or you could do like a lighter color but I'm just gonna go with straight up purple like that. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing here, so you can just do the option there. And now we're gonna have the first layer of our colors done. As you can see, it looks pretty dope. We're gonna mirror it right there, so it's not gonna look so crappy right there with the cutoff. And then you can just do this as much as you want. And now you can actually rename a lot of these to the certain colors that they have, but it's gonna take a lot of work, so I'm just gonna leave it as white just for the tutorial. You could actually turn the thing back on, the circle thing right now, so that's what it's actually gonna look like. And then just right click on here and then press Control and then hold down to music, and then select all of these things right here. Right click on all of them and then press pre-compose, and then you can name this pre-composition just layers and then press OK. Alright, now is the part where you're gonna actually put your logo on the screen. So grab your logo up into the project, which should be right here if you're on the same thing. So drag it down here underneath the layers thing you just created, and here's the logo. Now make sure it's above layers so you could actually see it, and drag it into scale. Now I would recommend it to be approximately the same size as the circle. Obviously you can never be perfect at it, but you know, do your best so it looks, you know, kind of good, because you kind of want your things looking good rather than just not good, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense, kind of. And then shape it into position. It's kind of awkward. It's kind of awkward to shape it into position, but once you do, it should look pretty good. I mean, you should have a tiny bit of white room to spare up in here because I don't know, just it gives kind of like an organic look to it. Just kind of like a clean kind of cut thing going on here. And I think that should be basically it. I mean, it is a little bit thicker on some parts than it is on others. So to do that, you're going to go over here to the search bar once again and then type in mirror into the search, and then just drag that thing down into the layers. And then here you're going to have the actual mirror option. Go to the left part of the reflection center and then just drag this all the way down till where you see 960. As you can see, you're gonna have the exact same. Actually, you could scroll through the video to see like a part right there for reference of what it's gonna look like on both sides. So just drag it down to where you see 960. It should be right about there, right on the dot. So now we're gonna have 960. As you can see, it's already looking dope. And I think I mentioned this before, but you could also make the layers of the colors. You can make it thicker if you want. Right now mine's pretty thin, but I'm just doing this for the sake of the tutorial. You could actually make it thicker if you want, and you can make some really like dummy thick bars going up. This is basically what it's gonna look like, and we're gonna add it in the background sooner or later, so don't worry about that. So to get started with this, just go into composition and then press new composition. Now this is going to be the final composition, so you could just name this final and make sure everything is the exact same layout right here. Make sure it's exactly 920 as usual. Alright, so now you're going to go into the project option once again, and then you're just going to drag the color composition that you made earlier. You're going to drag it into this area right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to right click like we did last time, and we're going to press new and then solid. And now this one is going to be where your particles are going to be at. So you could actually name this one particles, and everything should be set to normal. Press OK. Let's zoom in a little bit for this one. Alright, so go into the search bar and then type in CC particle world, and it should show up right about here. And then just drag that into particles, and then you're going to have all of these options right here. Now, the first thing you're going to see is a giant grid looking thing, or like some sort of video game layout from like the 1990s, I don't even know. But you're gonna get rid of all this so it's not distracting. Basically just go into the grid and guides and just uncheck all of these things. You don't need any of them. These are just random stuff that we're not gonna use. And now what you can do is just uncheck the eye symbol for the color, and we're gonna drag particles underneath color because they're gonna need to be beneath the actual logo. So you can close out a grid and guides because that's really only kind of like the thing that's meant to give you a reference point. Make sure the longevity, I can never really understand what that means. Just make sure you change it to 4.0 exactly. And now you can close that, and you can go into producer. make sure all of these are set to 0 exactly, and then close out of there. Now we're going to head into physics. Now for the gravity, we're going to make sure there's a 0 gravity. We don't want no gravity here. It's going to affect everything. And make sure the extra angle is also set to 0. So now we're going to have actually a bunch of stuff flying in your face. Holy crap, look at that. It's going to look great once we're done with it though. So just close out of physics. And now we're going to actually head straight into the particle effects. This is where it gets kind of complicated, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So for the particle type, you're going to make it actually go as a lensed convex right here. And then you're going to make the birth size 0.03 and then the depth size 0.03 as well. And then change the max occupancy to 100%. And then we're going to have these ghostly looking particles kind of going on here. Now we're going to head over to the search bar again and we're going to type in fill. And then just drag the fill option underneath extras. And then we're going to have the colors. And we can actually set it to white. You can set it to whatever color you want. You can set it to blue if you want. You can set it to green. Or you could just, you know what, you could set it to whatever you want, honestly. I'm just going to set it to white just for this. And then the last thing that you're going to do is close out of all of this and then go to extras, effect, camera right up here. As you can see, we have all of this stuff going on. We want kind of like a 3D perspective of it. Make sure all of this is set to 0 exactly. And it should be set to 0 by default, but you never know, it could actually be set to something. So make sure you go ahead and set the effect camera to 0 on all of them except for the FOV. Alright, so now after that, you're going to head over to project once again, and then you're going to double click on music. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on music again, and then you're going to hold the control button, and then click on the music right there. And then right click on that, and then you'll see Keyframe Assistant, and then click on Convert Audio to Keyframes. Press that. And now we're going to actually have the whole place. We're going to make the audio synced up with the spectrum and all the particles and everything. It's just going to look beast afterwards, so don't worry about it. First thing you're going to want to do is delete the irrelevant things. So scroll down into audio amplitude and then scroll down to effects. And then make sure you delete the left channel and the right channel because those are completely irrelevant. We're going to be using both channels. Okay, so now this is the part of the tutorial where it's going to actually get pretty complicated and pretty in-depth, so make sure you guys pay attention and do this exactly the way I show you how to do it because it's going to be pretty intense coming up here. So click on particles and then go to effects control, and then you should have extras already open, but if you don't, open up extras and then open up effect camera. And then you're gonna see rotation X right here. So hover your mouse over this icon right here. I don't even know what it is, but hover your mouse right here and then hold Alt and then press the left button. And then you're gonna have the inner framework of the actual effect itself. Now this is the part we're gonna have to paste a little bit of code into here so it can actually synchronize the particles to the music. Now the code is this one right here. I already have it pasted. However, this one, it should be whatever that you named your composition. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So for example, if you named your music composition just music, then make sure you have it music. Or if you named it some random freaking thing, I have no idea, then make sure you have it named the exact same thing here, right between these quotation marks. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And then just press out of there. And it's going to say that there's an effect, but there's an effect issue, but don't worry about it. You didn't do anything wrong because what you're going to do now is you're going to scroll to where it says rotation Z. And you're going to do the exact same thing. Hold Alt and then press rotation Z. And then do the exact same thing right here. Don't change it. Don't add any spaces. Just literally the exact same effect. And then you're going to change this to 30 right here. Press OK. So now you're going to go over to the section right here once again. And you're going to type in mirror. And then you're going to go and drop it on particles again. And then just make sure it's 960. You could just type in 960 right here so it's exactly mirrored. Alright, so one last thing you're going to need to do is go into the search bar right here once you're on the color option for the final composition. So go here and then press in magnify. magnify. There we go. It's going to be this option right here. But before you do that, you're going to make sure to have it checked so you can actually see what you're doing here. Drag it up to the color option or whatever you named it. There you go. And now you're going to set this to a magnification of 1100 and nothing right there. And then magnification down to 100. So it's going to look nice and crisp. And now one more thing you have to do, I promise you guys, this is going to be the last thing. Scroll or hover your mouse over to the magnification icon right here, and then press Alt, and then click right there, and you're going to paste the exact same thing onto it. I'm going to change the music option here. And I made a mistake earlier in the tutorial. I mixed up the names of these things, so that's why it was showing effect error. But chances are you're probably gonna get an effect error anyways, because After Effects sometimes doesn't recognize certain properties. So just keep that in mind. Change this property right here to 5, and then click out of it, and there you go. So now every single time there's like a bass drop in the music or whatever, it's gonna actually it's gonna expand by 5. It's gonna look dope. And then the absolute final thing that you should do is just drop in the background into your thing, which will be this right here, but obviously it'll be probably different for you. And you could actually go here and press in mirror, and you can mirror the background if you want by dragging this here. As you can see, we could actually mirror the background, so it's like on both sides it looks the exact same. Just make sure it's exactly 960, so it would be mirrored perfectly to the center. Now literally the only thing you need to do now is just go into music right here, and then make sure the selected thing that you have for music is only going to be as long as the music itself. And yeah, that's basically all you have to do in order to make a working Trap Nation slash no copyright effects style video for your music. So definitely a good idea to do. There is different ways of doing this whole tutorial. Now this was definitely my most complicated and most in-depth tutorial by far. So if you guys did like it, if it did help you, make sure you go and just annihilate the like button. Now there is actually different things you could do to make this look more professional. This is just the most basic kind of like audio spectrum thing you can make. All right, so this is the kind of stuff that you guys could actually make with After Effects if you have the right amount of plugins. You can make these pretty dope looking effects. As you can see, this is the kind of stuff that I've made. And yeah, that's basically how you make an audio spectrum with After Effects. Some crazy dope looking animations like that. And yeah, that's basically it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.